Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest tonight. Clara is here.
Yes.
Before I make this proper introduction about her, what I like to say is yes, we are landlords, and everyone hates landlords. But we don't want to be one of those, property owners who is hated by everyone, right? So it's like a general thing. That's why we wanted to be more than a landlord, and we created this concept called Zuma Connect, right? What we do is because we got incredible tenants like Clara from all around the world with different stories. They're all creative, amazing individuals. What we wanted to do was a long time ago, we wanted to know these people, right? Because as amazing as it looks, coming to LA is not that easy. And surviving here, right? It's not
Yes.
even like, yeah, the dream is to be here, but that dream goes away as soon as you land,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How did you, first of all, let's hear who you are, right? A little
Okay,
bit. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I want to know you, right?
Okay, perfect. Well,
Right, yeah,
hi guys, my name is Clara Garrido. I'm from Brazil.
right.
I'm 20 years old and I've been living in LA for almost 2 years now, a year and a half. Yes.
Here is what I want to find out, and this is going to be the beginning of your story also, right?
Okay.
So, because I got my moments when I decided to like really get out of my country.
Yes.
I came here like about 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was a moment. It
Mm-hmm.
was in the middle of the night. I was in my small room in Istanbul and I didn't know what to do as a young person. I was around your age.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? Whatever is going to happen, it's not going to happen here. I got to be out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I pursued that. I followed that dream
Yeah.
and I was able to make it to LA. And it was my first out of country, far
Really?
away, home experience, right?
Yeah.
I was hell scared, right?
Yes.
And but whatever happened in my life, and I've been here for 18 years now, I actually owe to that moment because when that came, I was open.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about your moment? Was it a moment or it was a gradual type of timeline?
Okay. I feel like it was both. Um, as everyone, like I've always wanted to live out of my country.
Right,
Everyone wants to
right,
come to the US and the American dream. But I've always wanted to be an actress. I grew up in like the acting industry, the dance industry, the film industry, and I knew that if I wanted to make it, I had to come here.
that's the capital,
Yeah,
LA.
So I studied a lot. I really put myself out there. I proved to my parents that I really deserve to be here because I know it's
Right,
really expensive and everything.
absolutely.
Yes.
And right, there is that definitely like question.
Yeah.
So here's the thing though. There is that like imaginary moment, right? Okay,
Yes.
you're basically closing your eyes and you're in LA,
Mm-hmm.
you're surrounded by amazing people, you're living in the
Yes.
best place,
Uh-huh.
and you set up your incredible life in LA. That's all dream.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come to LA, the reality starts.
Completely changed.
Would you tell us the differences between the dream
Yes.
and the
Reality.
reality?
Yes, of course. I feel like for everyone it's a different perspective and
Right.
it's a different thing. For me at least, when I dreamed about coming to LA, it's like the dream city, right?
Right.
So everyone is super nice and everyone
Absolutely.
wants you to be here and everyone wants you to like succeed in life. And that was a dream. And I thought that coming here would be like easy. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in LA. I'll make it. And then after I got here, I realized, especially being so young, I feel like it was really different. And
Vulnerable,
yes, vulnerable. That's the word. That's
right?
literally the word. Being away from your family, from your friends, from your life, and being alone in a totally different country. It's so different from what you expect.
Right.
And not different bad. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's challenging. And it's really, really challenging.
Right,
So, yeah.
right. But here is what I think,
Yeah.
and I believe you when you say challenging because it's the
Yes.
real pain you've gone through.
Yeah.
So because of that challenge you've gone through and you're going through still every single day,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to stand up here,
Yeah.
talk to the people, the world,
Yes. Yes.
and tell them what you've been able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still very young. You were at 19 when you came here.
Yes.
That 2 years of LA experience
Yeah.
has made you someone else.
Oh my gosh. I
Right?
lived like 5 different lives since I got here.
Mm-hmm.
From like the people that I met, from the experiences that I had, from everything that I'm still going through and living, and I will still be like living for the rest of my life, I think.
Right.
And I feel like you can also like feel that when I say
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
it's just everything here happens so fast and it's so different, and it's always a challenge and always something different that you have to like
Right.
learn from. It's always really big and hard experiences that you have to learn from. And
Tell us one of
yeah.
those, like, for example, when you open your eyes, you
Yes.
came here, the dream is over, the reality
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah.
Tell us about one of those, wow, I'm like by myself experiences.
Yeah.
One of those.
I feel like when I first moved here, to the first Hillgard,
Yeah,
Zuma,
yeah. First
Zuma,
apartment experience, right?
apartment
With Zuma Housing, right?
experience, yes. I moved there and there was so many people from literally the entire world. Like
Right.
so many people from different cultures, from different like beliefs. And it was so hard to find someone that it was like, oh, this person connects to me.
Right.
And I see myself in them, or
Right.
So it was just like a realization that my best friends were all in Brazil, and this is my life now.
Right.
So like these are my friends and I have to make them my friends, and
Right.
yes, I'm gonna
Right.
live like out of this experience. So when I feel like when I first moved here and then I started doing like classes and classes got hard, I was like, I just want to talk to my friends. I just want to be with my
Right.
family.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't do that
Right.
because I'm here.
Right.
So I need to learn how to do this here.
Very good point, actually.
Yes.
Because so you get on the plane, you're leaving your home country,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that every single person you're leaving behind,
Yes.
they know that you're doing amazing or you will be doing amazing,
Yeah.
right? The moment you feel depressed in your Los Angeles,
Yes.
right? There's no way for you to tell them like, hey, guys, it's not that good here. I'm
Yeah.
depressed right now. You
Yeah.
can't say that, right?
Yeah. No, I can't. Because they're like, you're in LA. That's
You're
the
in LA.
dream. Like
That's the
everyone
dream.
wants to be
Right.
there. But it's not like that when you're actually experiencing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I just feel like it's two different like points, point
Uh-huh.
of views, So the point of view when I was in Brazil and I
Right.
was like waiting to come here,
Right.
I knew it was gonna be hard, but it's definitely really different than what I expected it to be. And then
Right.
the point of view when I'm here.
But you still appreciate the whole
Oh my
journey,
gosh,
experience,
yes.
and you don't want to go back to
I
Brazil.
would never go back. Yes.
Your parents shouldn't hear that.
Yes, they shouldn't.
Please,
Mm-mm.
right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What are
Dad.
you planning here? You're gonna stay here. Your
Yeah.
future will be here.
Yes.
What do you want to be? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
I feel like that changed a lot actually since I came here. I knew I wanted to be in the film industry, and I knew I wanted to be like acting and dancing and doing all of that. But when I got here, I was just like, this is so much harder than I expected to
Right.
be. A lot of people, like, I see 7-year-olds in my dance studio, like, doing
Right.
things I've never seen before.
Right.
And I'm like, this is LA. Like,
Right.
this is
Very
so
competitive, right?
yeah, so competitive. I still want to accomplish my acting career. That's my biggest dream since I
Right.
was so young, and I will accomplish that.
But on
But-
top of it, you got to do something else, right?
Yes.
What is
on
that?
top of it, I need to study and I need to work, and
Okay.
that's the one thing that I'm focusing on right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So what area you want to work and like specialize if you want to?
Yes. Besides acting, business marketing.
You want to be an entrepreneur?
Yes, I am.
That's it.
Yes. Yes.
What's wrong with LA, guys? Like whenever you come here, you see all these people spending money,
Yeah.
showing off crazy at Rodeo Drive
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
And like organically you want to be one of them, right?
You're just like, why am I not one of them? I have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's so funny because whenever my friends, they come here to visit me, they're like, for you to live here, you have to like adapt to their lifestyle.
Right.
And I'm like, yes.
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't even like notice that I was trying to do that too.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's actually a great thing to like find people you are inspired by.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
At the same time, those are the same people that you should sometimes stay away just to not to be distracted. There is that like very sensitive balance between like yes people and no people.
Okay. Yeah.
So because like usually people tend to really distract. They sometimes talk nonsense, and at your very important moments,
Yeah.
hearing those kind of ideas may not be the best thing for you.
That's true.
That's
Wait,
what it
that's
is.
actually so true.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you gotta be really bold.
Yes. Also because everyone comes from a different background. So it's
Everyone comes from
different.
a different background,
Yeah.
and everyone's experience is very different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
With like the same thing. It could be so different.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I've been like literally working on myself, like this self-improvement and
Yeah.
personal growth thing and all that. And I read like a lot of things, and I've been watching videos and all that, and I'm talking to people. Like one idea that really sticks with me is that stay away from people who are very negative,
Yes.
right?
That's
That's
the
real.
one thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We hear that on social media every single
Yes.
day. Like, stay away from those folks. Stay away from those folks. But I mean, it is really the right thing to say, right?
It is true. You can't be surrounded by people that makes you feel less
Absolutely.
because you have to be more and more each day for
So-
you.
Right. But when you come to LA, let's make a comparison. Like, let's
Yeah.
say in a scenario, you stayed in Brazil.
Okay.
What city are you from in Brazil?
São Paulo.
Sao Paulo,
Yes.
right? You are in the middle of that amazing people who are your
Yes.
friends and all that, right?
Yes.
And then you come over here and you see like some of those maybe freak guys,
Yes.
like maybe, right? How would you compare it? Like, I mean, it's a little uncomfortable to be here,
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah.
It is very uncomfortable.
but how
yes.
does it help you, first of all? And how does it help you?
I feel like it helps me in so many different aspects of my life.
Right.
One of them learning how to like treat people and how to be treated. So I know how like the type of environment I want to be in. So for example, I don't know if you're like talking about like just weird men that are like on the street and
Right.
just like there's a lot of people that are trying to be something here.
Right.
And you have to be careful with those.
Right.
Because sometimes they want to take you down.
Right.
Sometimes they wanna
That
take you
happens,
up,
right? That's
know?
one of the obstacles you encounter in LA then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's like for you guys to take a note. If you're watching this in your home country,
Yes.
so you're going to be approached by a lot of people.
A lot of people.
They're going to come up with weird ideas.
Yes. They're going to try to make you want to do everything that they're like saying you to.
Right.
Yes.
And they're going to call it freedom. They're going to call it artistic.
Yes.
They're going to call it cool, right? They're going to know like, you're like excited to be here. And they're
Yes.
going to introduce those ideas as LA. Hey, this is LA. Why would you come here and all
Yes.
that?
like you have to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
But before you get here,
Yeah.
you need to write down what your LA is, right?
Yes.
Like what it is, right?
Yes.
And then you have to stick with it.
Yeah.
So your LA is the
Yeah.
place where you can improve your acting,
Yes.
get a gig, right? Good
Yes.
gig, right?
Yes.
And like network.
Yeah. Network is the one thing like that I really like to do here.
Okay.
I feel like this is the place to network.
Right.
What else would you do in LA if you're not
Absolutely.
networking, right?
How do you network?
Going to like events, just like
Meeting
I
people.
dance too, so like going to like dance events, acting events, like theaters. I love movie theaters. This is so like underrated. I don't know why people stopped going there.
Right.
I love movie theaters and I
Right.
feel like you can meet so many people there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know, just like if you're looking for like business, like a business career, like
Right.
only a business career, going to like business events, like social media events,
Right.
just like events from like brands that you like.
Uh-huh.
Not those private events that you're not invited
But you
to.
said something. I want to get
Okay.
back to it.
Yeah.
You said like, hey, in Brazil, I was dreaming about like being in LA
Yeah.
and getting in the middle of that competition. And when I
Yes.
came here, I saw like even in the dance like gigs and
Yeah.
stuff, I see like a 7 years old kid is doing crazy moves and all that. And I'm
Yes.
like, wow, I'm overwhelmed, right? That's
Yes,
what you think a little
it's
bit.
so overwhelming. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of overwhelms you,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what about like when you see people
Mm-hmm.
who are like really talking about how they've done amazing, no one can be like them, and there are so many people out there, right?
Yes.
So how are you managing that, like without being overwhelmed?
Keeping my circle small.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
I find people that I'm very inspired by, and I tend to talk to them, try to reach out. Sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But if they do, I'll talk to them and I'll see like if I can like I don't know, maybe ask for advice.
Yeah.
Most of the times they will give you.
Yeah.
And there's
There's
a lot
some
of
meaningful
there's
relationships
some
you got.
meaningful, yeah, just making meaningful relationships. And LA is really hard for you to keep your circle small because there's so many people here.
Right.
And you're always like thinking that you want to be friends with like everyone.
Right.
But don't do that because
Right.
you can get really lost. And there's a lot of
Right.
people that like they're not gonna help you.
Right.
So
Wasting time. Right.
just know like
Right.
how to judge like energies, I feel like.
Check off. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
is this person gonna like be like add to my life, you know? Or is
Yeah.
they yeah.
So 2 years is a great time.
Okay.
If you're able to go back, you would, let's say you were able to go back.
To
So
live there.
what would be, I mean, no, I was saying like the beginning of your 2
Oh,
year
okay,
journey,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how would you like, what would be your do's and don'ts, like based on what you've done and what you haven't done? Like, let's say, would you
Yeah.
say anything like, oh, I wish I'd done this, it would have been better?
Yeah.
Or never done it. Like, I
Yes.
wish I'd never done that because it wasn't a good conclusion for me type of thing.
I think when I got here, because I moved to like the Hillgard, my first student housing place, it was a house with so many people there, so many international students my age. And I think I got really stuck on like the social environment.
Right.
So I would always like go to parties and like
Right.
go out and travel. And yes, you have to do that.
Right.
Because that's like you're getting to know the place that you're
Right.
living
Right.
and you're getting new experiences.
Right.
With people that I most likely won't see ever again.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
But
For Hillgard, let's
yes.
put a disclaimer here. So that's one of the properties we manage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And it's not a traditional apartment like structure, right?
Complex, yeah.
It's like next to UCLA, literally this like I don't
House,
want to call
yeah.
like a wrong terms here, but crazy party
Oh,
like
crazy
setup.
party. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, people have rooms and all that. There are common areas where people gather.
yes.
We tried to stop them. We couldn't so far, but
They tried. They
they
tried.
tried. Yeah, we tried our best as like the bad property managers and all that, but it didn't work out. But I hear a lot of great stories, you know, from Hillgard, and you know, overall, she's saying that
Yeah.
maybe I wasted a little more time there. You're saying,
I feel like it's not even that I wasted more time, but I just feel like I wish I could have focused on my career when I got here.
okay,
Because I was really focused on my friendships.
I see.
And even though that's important, as I said, it is really
Right.
important, but most of those people you're not going to be friends with for your entire life.
Right,
So I just wish I had focused more when I first got
Right,
here, not
right.
focused on my social environment.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we let our minds to create this like very incredible scenario time to
Yeah.
time, right? Because we actually put people in different shelves. Like, hey, these are my loved ones. These are my good
Yes.
friends. These are strangers. These are like sometimes hi guys and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we expect the best out of the loved ones and the good friends and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the contrary, I think sometimes the stranger side can really be very helpful. I told you my story right
Yeah.
before the show, right? Like
Yeah.
I literally, I was working for this vitamin shop called GNC when I was a student on the campus.
Yeah.
And literally like one stranger walked by, another girl from another country, and she stopped by. I knew her like barely, and I said, "Hey,
Yeah.
what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working for the vitamin shop, you know."
Yeah.
And I wasn't even muscular or anything like that, like selling protein shakes and stuff. So, and I asked her like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm working for an English school." And I'm like, "Wow, inspirational. I like to work for an English school. I'm
Yeah.
perfect fit for it." That stranger helped me a lot, right? But I
Yes.
told you before the show, I was open for it.
Yeah.
I guess you're right when you say that doing the same thing over and over again, like for a long time, is not a good idea, right? But at the same time, if you really like let a stranger to give you a little bit of a spark, like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe this is the way to do.
Yeah.
Maybe you needed that like quiet, comfortable, peaceful environment, and that wasn't the ecosystem you're in at the time.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
But I think everything that you're saying, like while you're saying it, I'm thinking about this from just one friend that I met in Hillgard,
Uh-huh.
and she's from Italy, and she actually like was the girl that like helped you with but for me, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She like really every time that we would talk about like our careers and what like our life in LA we wanted to be.
Right. What's her name?
Her name is Sarah.
Sarah, and she was a
Yes.
good friend of yours.
She's still a good friend of mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys still keep in touch?
Yes, we
Is
keep
she
in
in Italy
touch.
or in LA?
She's in Italy, but she'll come to LA in April.
Sarah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Sarah.
so you like literally you're from Brazil, she's from Italy,
Yeah.
and you guys were able to make that connection.
Yes.
Incredible.
No, I love her so much.
She inspired you.
Yeah, she inspired me so much.
She
Would
how?
always she would always like we would always talk about like not only her but like a lot of my friends that I met last year. They're all from Italy. I love Italians. Yes.
Right.
They're always really fun.
Right. This
But-
is so exciting.
Yeah.
What I like to do is I like to hear about Sarah.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it on the second part.
Okay, yeah.
Because we are kind of like going over the time right now, but
Okay.
let's hear about her the second time.
Yes.
Okay.
we'll
Thank you
do
so
that.
much.
Yes, of course.
We'll be back, guys. Right, okay, we're back to the second part of the show.
Yes.
I
we're so
remember
back.
what you were talking about.
Yes.
We were talking about Sarah.
Yes, my friend.
And when you actually mentioned
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, you were like, yes, she's the one. We wanna know about that connection.
Okay.
So you said she was pretty inspirational for you.
Yeah, she's one of my best friends still this day. I feel like my other like friends are gonna
That's
be
amazing.
like, no.
That's amazing, right?
But yeah, she was very inspirational for me. And every time that I would need someone to talk to or about like career, about life in general, I would always talk to her.
Right.
And yeah, until this day, I still talk to her a lot. Every time that I need her, she calls me, I call her.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. Because I mean, you describe it so well, right?
Yes.
You were talking about how excited you were before you came to LA.
Yes.
And then your initial interaction was in this property with bunch of party animals.
Yeah.
And it took you away from your like goals and stuff a little bit. It distracted you.
It did, yeah.
But then you put the Sarah part
Yeah.
in the right order because she was helping you like recover what you lost. Almost. Because
Yeah.
like in like being in that kind of like a party environment and all that gave you a little bit of like distraction. And then you
Yes.
found someone, created that meaningful relationship
Yeah, that could help me.
that could help you,
Yeah.
right? And until today, you guys are still good friends.
Yeah, so such good friend. I consider her one of my best friends.
That's amazing.
And it was also like what we were talking about. A stranger can be someone so influential to you and
Absolutely.
so helpful.
Right.
And it's also so important, you know. I met
She was a stranger to you.
She was a stranger to me at first.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So then we became friends,
Right.
good friends for life. I wanted
Right.
her to be in my life forever. And not only her, but a lot of people that I met here also helped me a lot with focusing more on my career that I feel like I wasn't at first. And after I met those people, those kind of people that are like also focused on a goal
Right.
and not only on socializing,
Right.
which is important. Again.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
It made me feel more inspired and more like I want to do this. I'm here for a reason. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
So here's the like tricky part about LA.
yeah.
First of all, there are no seasons here.
Yes. No seasons.
Every single picture you're in is gonna have the same type of like lighting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like it's a little tricky because the time goes so fast.
It does. It
I mean,
does.
you know, like back in Europe or in your country, I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
got like a different like seasons.
I'm from Brazil.
You're
so
from
it's
Brazil,
always
no season,
it's always
right?
hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rains a lot, but that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I feel like if there is a different type of like a climate,
Yes.
you're able to isolate that time frame.
Yeah, and then you're able to like process life
Right.
more. Yes.
And if you don't have it, time
Yeah.
goes so fast.
It
That's what's
does.
happening in LA,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like because the city is like very how do you say that? It really numbs you.
yes.
You're like, this is so
It's-
awesome.
That's so true.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
You
yeah.
get numb here,
Yeah.
right? Because everything is so slow. Everything is so like. I mean, it's very different than New York. You had an experience in
yes.
New
I
York,
had.
right?
Yeah.
Because of that numbness you experience in LA,
Yeah.
what happens here is you spend like 3 years. You don't even realize it,
Yes.
right?
It's crazy.
Right.
It feels like I just got here and it's gonna be 2 years.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you have to put some bold moves like on the table. You have to be like, no way, I'm not letting this happen. I'm not going to let another 3 months pass by.
Yes.
Because I believe the best way for you to see how much progress you made is to compare yourself to like last year.
Oh yeah.
All right. So it's
Yeah.
like very simple question. What was I doing last year? What am I doing this year? What am I doing right now?
Yeah.
Right? Like forget about like really putting yourself in the comparison with other people.
No, it's
Oh,
about you.
it's about you,
Yeah.
right? Because the time goes so fast and so hidden in
Mm-hmm.
LA, my suggestion to everyone, including you, is that
Okay.
you have to put some bold moves in the table, like such as, you know, I'm just gonna go to this like a crazy, I don't know, like a camp,
Okay.
and I'm gonna like, like I'm gonna go like literally, like like do something extreme.
Yeah, explore.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then that's gonna make me a different person.
Yes.
That's the whole idea here, right?
Yes.
So, do you have any plans to like put some extreme moves in your life?
Like right now?
I don't know, like
Like ever.
because like, like extreme actions
Yes.
would bring extreme like consequences, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, do you like does it happen to you like sometimes, hey, I need to do something. I've been
Yes.
like
All the
doing nothing
time.
for yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've been there was times I was here in LA and I was in my room and I was like, I need to do something extreme. And one of my friends actually he went on this like alone trip to
Okay.
camp
That's so
in
good.
like one of I don't know, it was like a national park here. I don't remember which one.
Uh-huh.
He went alone for like 3 days.
That's
And then he
awesome.
came back, he said he was like a different person. And that's like I've been meaning to do that.
Right.
Not like that far.
Right.
Like just go to like a place by
Right.
myself.
Right.
Because I feel like here you're always like surrounded by so many people,
Right.
especially like as a student, you're always like on campus and you're
Right.
studying and
Right.
there's always someone with you. So I feel like I've always wanted to do something like that to see if it actually like changes. Because sometimes
Absolutely.
I feel like life gets so overwhelming and you're just like kind of stuck
Right.
in a place and you're just
You
like,
do the same things over and over again.
yeah. And you're just like, I need to like change something, but I don't know what it is.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes I really want to like do an alone trip, but I'm also like, should I do it? I don't know.
Right. It's kind of like the conflict between your soul and your body.
Yeah.
Because your body wants to be comfortable.
Yeah.
The body is used to like doing the stuff you've been doing every single day.
Yeah.
But the soul is like whispering, "Hey, can you please take care of me? I don't
Yes.
need this like everyday treatment. I
Yeah.
need you to do something like different.
Yeah.
I need you to talk to me."
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah.
And we really ignore that. We really like overlook that, I believe. And I, it's very common like for me to see people who have a sign of depression. I think those are the folks who have been ignoring that whisper from their soul a lot. So if they keep like just, hey, whatever, I'm gonna keep going, like whatever my body wants to do, type of thing. Those people usually experience symptoms that they don't know about. They're
Yeah.
like, what is this? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, even like when I work, like I was here this morning, right?
Yes.
So I started this crazy meeting routines, 9:30, 10, 11, back to back, back to back. And it was like so bad. Like around 3 p.m., I wanted to be out,
Yeah.
and I realized like I've been literally like torturing myself so much.
You're doing the same thing over
You're
and
doing
over
the same
again.
thing over and
Yeah.
over again. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you do this in a day and realize it at the end of the day and do something else, that's fine. But imagine like you've been doing this for a year
Yeah.
and you don't realize it.
Yeah. I think it's just like life can get super like overwhelming as we're talking
Exactly.
about. And it's just like you only live once. That's like something that I always think about.
Right.
Also, like after I moved here, I was like, I need to experience everything that I can here because I don't know how much time I have here.
Right.
Living over a visa is like,
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
always like that. It's always going to be
Was
like
it
that.
difficult to get a visa
It's really hard to get a visa in Brazil.
in Brazil?
Yeah. A student visa.
Like
Yeah.
somehow there's some rejections, right? Like
There's
no,
a lot. Yeah,
there's
there's
a
a lot
lot.
of rejections. I have a lot of friends that they wanted to come here and
but no
unfortunately they
go.
couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like you can't take that for granted, you know. I'm here
Absolutely.
and I got the experience and I got the opportunity to be here. So
Right.
I
Right.
need to
You have
like
to make best out
yeah,
of it, right?
and
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
totally.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I feel like life gets really overwhelming, but at the same time you have to like experience things. Like you can't be locked in your room and just like thinking that life is gonna
Right.
happen while you're in your room because that's not how it's
Right.
gonna be.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in LA or in a different city or country away from your home. And if you're really like wasting your time in your room watching like your home country TV shows or thinking about your life in your country, I'm sorry, but you're losing it. You gotta really do something better than that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's okay because there's like days that you need that.
Right.
There's days that you're just like missing your home, you're missing your family, and just you just need to like sit down, watch Netflix, and like
Absolutely.
not talk to anyone.
Absolutely.
Because there's days that I wake up and I'm like, I can't speak English today.
Right.
I'm not. I can't.
Yeah.
You know. So it's just like you have to have a balance, but also don't miss out on opportunities just because you're like too comfortable with
Right.
like with yourself being in your
Right.
room.
It's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
one thing you told me was very impressive because, again, like you're at a very, very early age. You came here like when you were 19,
Yeah.
right? And then it's been 2 years. You're
Yeah.
21 right now.
I'll be 21.
Right. You'll be
Yeah.
21. Not
Yeah.
yet. So, like initially, you got into this environment with a lot of like parties and all that. But you told yourself, hey, what am I doing? I'm here for a different reason.
Yeah.
And now when I'm asking you like, hey, what would you change about your initial, journey in LA? You would say, you're saying, hey, I wish, I use my time a little bit like in a different way.
Yeah.
This is really great. You're really ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, this is a serious thing, right? But you got to keep building up.
Yes.
I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah. I feel like you're so right. And also my parents, they talk a lot like to me about this because they're always like, you need to make this worth like, and not in the sense, my parents were always the people that they would never like put too much pressure on me. So I would always like put a lot of pressure on myself because
Right.
they would never put pressure on myself.
That's a great way of raising a great kid.
I love it.
I need to learn
love
it,
my
yeah.
parents.
Yeah, exactly.
I love my parents so much. But after a while here, they were like, you have to, like, you're there for a reason. Make it work. Like,
Right.
make it worth,
Right.
like, everything.
Absolutely.
It's not about money. It's about experience.
Absolutely.
And it's
about
about like
experience. Yeah.
life growth. And what you said about like being ahead, I feel like sometimes I don't even like realize it, but sometimes when I talk to my friends back in Brazil, I'm like, they're the same age as
Different
me. And
mindset.
it's
Yeah.
totally a different mindset.
Right.
And not like this just benefits you so much.
Right.
You being out of your comfort zone and being like totally alone in like a different place. It sounds like it's gonna change you, but I swear it changes you so much more than you can ever imagine.
Well,
It's crazy.
what you're saying is something that I experienced in the first
Yeah.
place, right? So you're like one of those guys, right? In your environment, in your home country, right? You graduate from the school, and then if you get lucky, you find a job or not, right? And then all of a sudden, you decide to really break your comfort zone, and you are now comfortable with uncomfortable. That's like the number one suggestion I'd like to make to you, right?
Yeah.
Be very comfortable with uncomfortable, right? So you're
Yes.
getting out of your comfort zone, and you're coming here with a little bit of like a expectation of like maybe I could do it, right? And then you start challenging, surviving every single day, hassling, right?
Yeah.
It does make you a different person, and you don't realize it.
You don't.
You don't realize
Until
it.
you go back to your country and you're like,
That's
oh.
it. That's the point. You go back to your country, and you're like, oh my god. I mean, no offense, right?
Yeah. But it's
these guys are like they're wasting their time sometimes. That's what you think, and you also see yourself a lot ahead of like other people.
yeah.
A lot more.
Not to like yeah, but it's what you're saying. It's not like to sound like that. But every time that I go back to Brazil,
Right.
I still have my best friends there, but it's just like I look at some people that I like used to be friends with and I'm just like I don't see myself like
Right.
doing these things anymore,
Absolutely.
And it's just like I'm still so young, but so different from what I was
Right.
2 years ago.
Right.
A year and a half ago.
Absolutely. You
So-
seem so.
And it's just like even my parents, they always tells me, they're like,
Yeah.
you're so mature now.
Exactly.
And it like scares me, but I'm also like grateful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's incredible. At the same time, it's not like you would be able to see this difference every single day. You
No.
wake up and you look in the mirror. Oh, okay, I'm a different person today. That
No.
that doesn't work out that way,
Yeah.
right? All right, we're with you guys for for the final part, and again,
Yes.
I want to go over like what we're doing here again for the ones who just started this podcast. First of all, I got an amazing guest here, Clara, from
you.
Brazil, and she's been able to survive in LA for 2 years as a student, as a professional, and as an artist at the same time, which is very important. We're actually sharing her experiences with you guys here. I know some of the things we talk about kind of sound cliche, but it's not. If
Yeah.
you're preparing your luggages or thinking about leaving your country for any purpose, education, work, whatever. So, whatever she's talking about here is super valuable. Try to understand the reasoning here because she's literally opening up and letting you guys know whatever she's gone through and all that. She's doing a great job, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the last thing we were talking about was the mindset.
Yeah. And I feel like it's also, you were saying about like if you're preparing your luggage or if you're here, but also for the people that has experienced it before. One of the things, my brother, he actually like came here to Santa Barbara to do his last year of high school. And every time that I tell him and I talk to him about this, he can relate so much. So for all those people that also like were here for exchange programs or not here, but like anywhere in the world, I feel like they can also relate to this experience because
Right,
it is an individual experience, but it's also not.
right,
know?
right. Well, I'm sure people are super curious about one thing,
Okay.
the financials.
Yes.
What does it take to be here financially? Like, what do we spend? You don't have to give like specific numbers
Yeah.
or private information we don't want. But
Mm-hmm.
let's say I am someone from Brazil
Okay.
and I like to really make it to LA or a
Yeah.
different city in the United States because I want that experience. So, what do I
Yeah.
spend? How does it work?
I feel like you have to prepare yourself and your parents or whoever is going to be supporting you a
Right,
lot.
right.
Um,
They have to be very prepared.
very, very prepared. Not only because it's not the money that you're going to spend here is not only the money that you're preparing to spend, double that because it will probably be doubled.
Right,
And I'm not saying that to like make anyone scared or to like make anyone back out of this experience because please don't. It's the most amazing experience of your life.
right,
Game changer.
right,
But it is very important to be financially responsible,
right.
and that's
What are those numbers? Let's say, like, I mean, what are the items? Like, let's say you got to really pay rent.
okay.
So that's one thing.
That's one thing.
Okay.
Rent, and then if you have a car, or
If you buy a car,
if you
right?
buy a car,
Right,
you have to pay parking garage,
right,
gas,
right. Exactly. Insurance.
insurance.
Okay. Let's stick with the simple side. Okay. Let's
Yes.
not scare people away right
Okay,
now.
let's
Yeah, yeah.
not-
Let's
let's not
do
do
like essentials.
Okay.
So the basic needs.
Yeah.
Housing,
Housing,
for sure.
health insurance is
Health
really
insurance,
important.
very important, right?
Very important. What else? What studying? So school.
Groceries,
Yeah, groceries.
right,
Transportation.
right,
If you're taking public, depends on which city you're going to. But if you're coming to LA,
right.
yes, transportation is very important.
You're gonna go at the minimum, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, so the housing, you're sharing your room with someone in a city like LA, very expensive. Housing
Yes.
is like very difficult.
Yes.
Let's say you're paying like $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about utilities, and room is furnished, let's say.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, you gotta make sure about your food, right? Eating and stuff.
Yes.
What do you spend for that? Let's say.
Like an amount or
Yeah,
like
like what would be the monthly spending for a potential visitor to LA?
I usually for me I do groceries every week
Uh-huh.
because I think it's like better for me to
Uh-huh.
like I spent like at least like 100 and something.
Right.
So
Okay.
every week.
Okay. Okay. Would I be able to say like about $1,500 to $2,000 will keep you at the survival mode in LA? Or no? Yes or no?
1,500
Or 2,000?
a monthly?
Yeah.
If you're paying rent with that money, no.
Yeah.
But if
You need more than that.
you need more than that, yes.
Right.
So more than I would say 3,000.
Okay, 3,000 is the minimum. It's $100 a day.
Yes.
This is the setup for, like $100 a day. What do you get in exchange of it? You get to say, I've been to LA, right?
Yeah. But not only that,
Yeah.
your experience here.
Experience is incredible, right?
Experience for life. It's
Experience
like
for life, right?
what you gain from here, like what you gain from this experience. I had a lot of friends from Brazil actually that I met in my first housing that I was here. And it was always really hard for us or for everyone actually that
Right,
comes here.
exactly.
LA is such an expensive city.
It's very expensive.
To like be financially responsible and like actually like plan ahead what
Right.
you're gonna like what are gonna be your expenses.
Right.
But they all said the same thing at the end of their exchange program.
Right.
It makes sense and it's worth it. So plan ahead like what you're gonna spend.
Right.
And as we were talking about, if you're gonna spend with rent, plan ahead $3,000
Right.
for your rent, depending on
Right.
how much your rent is. And then you have to think about groceries, and then you have to think about transportation.
So many other things.
Yes.
I feel very fortunate to be able to really go through this whole like LA journey with you because
Yeah.
you got the full real experience here. Um, Here's what I want to tell you. First of all,
Yes.
you're on the right path. You're on the right like plan, and I feel like you really know what you're doing right now. Okay, don't leave that idea. Okay, you're doing great. I want to say you still have that incredible flexibility of like making mistakes.
Yeah.
Don't worry about making mistakes, right? They're all like you can definitely recover
Hmm.
and compensate. I'm sure that's gonna be a great gain for you because between the ages of 20 to 30, you're just the beginning of it, right? It's a time to fall and get back, fall and like get up, right? So please enjoy that. Don't worry about like being so cautious. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna make anything like dirty and stuff. Go for it, okay? And I think in the next year or so, like once you're 21, I want to say like try to really monetize, especially you got this entrepreneurship mind right now.
Yeah.
Okay, don't leave it.
Okay.
All right, don't leave it. And because I'm only saying that because you're on the right track. Just try to build whatever you have it, like the foundation, you try to build more on it, and you'll be amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're gonna be incredible.
And
Yeah.
you said something about like me knowing like what I want now.
Right.
And just to be clear, it might seem like it. I know what I want and I know my plan.
Right.
But like you change your mind so constantly
I know.
here. So don't be scared if you don't know yet.
Exactly.
It will show up to you.
Right. Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually what I was saying about like making a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a mistake, and
Yeah.
I learned from it, and I'll move on.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
It's about learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, we try to motivate you. We try to literally inspire you here. That's what's happening, right? And I know sometimes certain things seem like a dream, impossible dreams, right? But we believe that, and we are the real examples of the idea. You're able to make impossibles very easily possible by acting right, by acting only. That's the whole thing. Let's really try to remember this idea tomorrow in the morning when you wake up. Are you comfortable? Okay. If the answer is yes, it's not a good news for us. We want to be uncomfortable. And in that uncomfortable zone, we want everyone to be comfortable because life is all about that, right? So let's make sure we're not really trying to create an environment with all this amazing pillows and all this butterflies and all that, right?
It's not like that.
It's not like that. It shouldn't be like that.
No.
Yeah,
Life is not perfect, but life is about growth
absolutely.
and what you do with like your mistakes that you're learning from it. It's whatever you learn, you have to like get your experience and learn from each experience that you have, no matter what.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said. I told you, you're on the right track. That's it. That's it. That's great. I'm very happy to meet you.
Me
and
too.
and I always know we have incredible tenants, amazing tenants, but I didn't know they're this amazing.
Stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is great. This is incredible. Again, another week, another show, another guest will be here, and whatever you guys want to ask us, please share us with comments, questions. We're open to answer, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much.